We had this vision of this other child with this other life that we thought he was going to live, and that child died the minute that happened.
So I got eggs with potato in it, that's lots of protein and carbs, and I've got cereal with fruit in it, that's lots of carbohydrates, and I've got toast, which is carbohydrates with organic peanut butter on it. So if that doesn't give me enough energy, nothing will. My mum and dad are coming up next week, did I tell you that? That's going to be interesting. They're here for a week.
Staying with you?
No. They're staying at a bed and breakfast down the street. So we're going to go to the movies, and I haven't seen them for about a year and a half.
But it's good that they're coming to visit you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll pack the rest of my bag. Okay, I'm going to brush my teeth and we can go. The reason you take drugs is because you probably are unable to live with yourself, or you loathe yourself, or you feel a lot of pain about who you are. And I didn't believe that at first. I believed I just liked using drugs because they made me high and gave me a feel good. What I discovered by sitting there and listening to other people talk was that it was true, that I did have very low self-esteem, and that I couldn't accept my sexuality, and I thought that I was bad for being gay, and that I was disgusting, and all those things, which was very difficult to discover. In my life, I guess I've had some issues with thinking that because I'm gay that I'm not tough, and that there's maybe a lot of society thinks that gay men aren't masculine or aren't able to do the things that straight men do. And I guess my fascination with that was in wanting to be equal to other men, whether they're straight or gay.
Okay, now first of all, we've all got to get aggressive today. We know what they're going to be doing. They're going to be all over us. A bit more aggressive than that. Reach over. Who's got that ball? Who's got that ball? Come on, that's it. Pop ball.
My name is Stuart, and I've been playing with the Sydney Convicts for nearly 5 years now. I'm 38 years old. I live here in Sydney.
I called Mum one day when I was at work, and I said, Mum, I've got something I've really got to tell you. And she's like, what? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? She thought I was going to tell us something bad. And I said, oh, I've got good news for you. She goes, what? And I said, oh, I'm playing rugby again. And she goes, oh, that's fantastic. Oh, because Mum was really big on us kids playing sport. But Mum, this rugby team, like, it's a special rugby team. And she goes, what do you mean? Is it a disabled rugby team or something? And I said, no. I said, it's a gay rugby team. She said, why are you playing with a gay rugby team? And I said, well, you know, Mum, I'm like gay. No, again. Sorry. My name is James Saunders. I'm 23. I'm originally from Western Victoria on Lake Conda. I'm Gundi Jamara. Well, basically, my dad is pretty much full Aboriginal, so he's the Gundi Jamara one, and he grew up at Lake Conda Mission. And Mum, she's half Aboriginal, and she has Austrian through her mother's side, so I'm a mix. We'll have to go find. She met a boy in my team playing straight, and they had lunch trying to get about So I'm in Coogee. I'm just visiting Mum. She's just flown in for a conference down in Sydney. She's just coming from Cairns. I'm just going to interview Mum tonight, ask her a couple of questions, find out a few things, and yeah, that's it. I'm going to ask you questions about myself as your son, and just to get an idea, and just to know a few things.
And then I went down to Melbourne to see him when Tarina was almost 1. And then it was then when I returned from that trip that I'd been advised that he had been living in a de facto relationship.
With another woman?
With another woman, and he still denied this. And I just wouldn't have him back to come and visit anymore. And 6 months after that, I started seeing someone else.
Dad had left for months and months, and Mum wasn't working because she was pregnant, and she hadn't worked for years. So we had no income. We were surviving. I think we were getting support from Salvation Army or St. Vinny's, one of those organisations. They were giving us support for food, but housing wise I don't think there's much we could really do, so we moved into our friend's garage.
At home, we've always had sheets in our lounges. Have you ever been to a house where they keep sheets on their lounges? Mum was the reason for this. She was so pedantic about keeping the house clean. Come on, you kids, this house is like a brothel! Just like the sheets, our hair, face, and clothes had to be clean too.
The way I did the performance was I had a mini trampoline and I was bouncing on the trampoline telling the story. And the whole idea about that was because when I remember when I was a kid was there being this like a sea of mattresses, because then we all slept in that garage.
Little tiny TV.
Yeah.
We ate the same food every night.
Every night. Was it mince and pasta?
Yeah, that was cheap.
Yeah.
We used to go and get donuts, bread rolls, mince and pasta, all cheap.
Yeah. Put myself in my mother's position, and be my mother and try and feel what it was like for her raising 9 children on her own as a single parent.
Sorry. So even if you're running, I'm going to have to turn sideways. So if you came forward to me, I didn't have to be coming from the side to actually get you.
What it offers to me in being new to Sydney, being in Australia, it's really trying to get a grasp on what Australia is about, and rugby is such a big part of the culture here that it is the best way for me to do that without actually being Australian. You get a sense of it because you're always with Australians and that's all they talk about, and the whole culture is based on game, pub, you know, pies, and it just beer. It's just such a culture that's so different from mine. I'm from Jamaica and it's certainly not what we do at all. Okay, I really should have gone to the dentist to get a mouth guard. I didn't have time, so I bought one. So I'm going to try to see if it actually can fit. If not, it will not be too pretty if something happens and my teeth get knocked out. So, my name is Brian, and I moved to Sydney a year ago, and a mate of mine who is on the Sydney Convicts rugby team, which is the gay rugby union team, told me about just coming along to see what it's like. I have never played a team sport, and I think that really is a challenge for me to say, well, yeah, let's do something different. I am much older trying to do a new sport, but there's a challenge that goes along with everything in life, and I think, well, this is just another one of them. I guess if I'm not able to do it well, then I'd be very disappointed with myself. And I guess the reason why I continue to be keen to play rugby is that I feel like I can do it. See, running. I like to run for many reasons, runners included. So, do that one. Today is my first game, and it's a bit scary, and I'm a bit anxious, and my stomach is flipping, but it should be fine. I think this may be our best. Is this the Rodney Reserve?
I don't think it is.
Oh. Oh. Is there another park over there?
Fucking no one's here. See, I told you, you bitches.
Don't be playing.
But there's no one here. Why do you want to come so early?
more that way.
That
there
way.
are like quite a few along.
A few of these.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Not as big as this, like not a playing field, but there are different reserves.
Okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to be playing a rugby match. I'm thinking it's called the Rodney Reserve. So I thought it was this one.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Sorry.
Okay, not a problem.
Okay.
Are you guys Waverley or Oatley? Waverley? Oatley. Okay, so this is where it's supposed to be. Okay, cool. I just felt like I didn't see anyone from my team here. I'm like, am I really that early? Okay, right place. I don't know, sure we're gonna camp out, so I'll wait for the rest of the team to get here. But in the meantime, stunning view.
Any decision, something, anything, I don't fucking care. Just do something. Just don't sit there and do nothing. If you don't have a runner, put it under the wing and take it in. If the ball's on the ground, dive on it. If you're not sure where you're supposed to be, get into a ruck, who cares? Just don't be a Brown's cow and not get involved.
And then I'm going to pass up to the back.
You can run it or you can maybe just run in and you get smashed, but yeah, that's what happened.
To make sure that you're not there, it's good for you.
Yeah.
You don't want to be facing 4 people running at you.
I agree.
If he tries to go around it, you can just go cut him off against the sideline.
Making a decision and trying, like this is really the time to do it.
If you're sliding in there, especially if some of the, like Mikey that hits the line.
And then you say, I was calling out but nobody heard me.
This is only going to build your confidence up.
Catch, run, straight, every time. Yeah, well done, see if you can do it, mate.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Right.
It should be fun.
Run over the fence as well.
Confidence will come.
McCarvey, squeeze! McCarvey, squeeze! Come on! Just come back a second. Go, boys.
Right, so we're going to fire up, we're going to have a go, make a decision, and we're just going to do ourselves proud and put a shoulder in. Right, let's have a squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze! One more. Okay, guys, before this one, what are you going to do to contribute? We're going to have a go, we're going to make a decision. 1, 2, 3, squeeze! Right, let's run it out, it starts now.
Yeah, you still make a decision.
You're staying on the field.
Who's playing wing?
Go for it, go for it. Bring over, Jeppa. Go! Oh, Stevie! Up on your feet!
With growing up, I discovered that I needed to be very responsible for my life, and I needed to learn how to earn money, and I needed to learn how to be self-supporting and how to pay my bills and how to get an education and then how to get a job. And I got very caught up in everything that being a mature functioning adult means, you know. Like I said, I'm a recovering drug addict. I used to inject crystal meth, which gave me a very strong rush and a lot of adrenaline and excitement, and I think I got overwhelmed by that by the time I turned 30, and which is why I sort of turned to using drugs as a way out, or a way of not being responsible.
Yeah, well, it's a serious stuff next week.
Yeah, the first game, yeah. So it should be good. So I might just grab my water and we'll go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess we always think our children will go on and similarly to our life and have grandchildren for us, and I guess that was a sadness. And I guess more than anything, it was a fear of
the unknown.
Of the unknown. The gay scene was something we were not familiar with, and too much publicity is on the negative side of it. And so we were afraid for his happiness, and yet to him, it obviously was where he was feeling more relaxed.
So, how did that come up? Oh yeah, that's what the photo shoot is for today. We also have to make a poster every year to promote it. And the theme this year is that we're convicts, and you know, Australia is Sydney is a convict colony. Well, it is tricky. No, it's he, but we do call him Maxi. Maxi's his drag name, but his real name is Chris. So, but we just call him Maxi.
Hi Dirk, how you going?
He's making a documentary about why would gay boys want to play rugby, basically.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I just put glasses on.
Okay.
Get going. Okay, let's go.
This is something that
I do a lot of their emceeing, and I work for their sort of fundraisers and what have you. I think it's safe to go now. And I went to Ireland with them. But I didn't know that it was outside.
The shoot?
Yes.
And why is that a problem?
Well, that is a problem for people like me, because sunlight's not very good for my makeup.
Because it might run?
Well, no, not at all. It adds shadows and you become really manly. You've beaten almost everyone as well, speaking of old hag. It should be quite fun, but we'll see how that goes.
Found food, eh?
How you going, young man?
Fantastic. Thanks so much for coming out and joining us for this.
No problem.
Would you like one of these?
I'll grab one later.
I'm probably a large. You're probably a small. Right. You're gonna pull it over on anybody.
Transported to the colony.
Oh, beautiful.
One, two, aim.
That's a good shot.
So you shut your eyes, I open them.
Ready? 1, 2.
4.5.
I think my parents experienced a lot of shame about me being gay, and they probably grew up in a time when homosexuality was seen as disgusting or not okay or unhealthy, and it was very difficult for them to accept that, and I think it still is today difficult for them to accept that. But my journey has been about learning that my sexuality is okay and my sexuality is healthy, and that everything about me is beautiful, and that I needed to accept that, and whether other people see that or believe that or not is none of my business. It's most important for me to know that.
1, 2. Give me a growl.
Jesus. What's the feeling issue?
Was it just the one call? That was just the one.
I think playing rugby allowed me to, still be a responsible adult and to learn how to pay my bills and go to work. But playing rugby gave me the opportunity to also be a little child and to be, crazy and run around on the football field and tackle people and to kick goals or to, score tries or whatever it was.
Smack the boss. His ribs are sitting there asking for it. It's got a big square on it going, hit me here. Hit it. Get in there and punch him nicely with your shoulder.
They're offside. Watch. Okay, hold it in, boys, hold it in! Oh, look at him, he's so far. Get him, Matty, get him! Get up there, Dane. Hit him. Get it! Hang on! Hey, Luke.
Very well. Jeppo, good work. Cool down.
Oh, fuck off. You're kidding.
Throughout our childhood, we lived in many different houses. Some were nice, some not so nice. Some were ours, and we paid for them. Some other people's homes, and we squatted in them. They belonged to, Uncle What's-His-Face, and Auntie, you kids better behave. But there was one place we lived in that kind of sticks to my mind. Well, I don't know if it sticks for the right reasons. I remember like it was yesterday. We were playing in the living room. Dad was nowhere to be found. Mum was sitting on the sheet-covered lounges, pregnant of course. Through the blinds we could see some police officers walking towards our house.
Oh my god, the police are here!
They so kindly asked us to vacate the premises as no rent had been paid for quite some time. Having nowhere really to go to, we ended up moving to our neighbourhood friend's garage. The reason why this place sticks out in my mind is because it was like a sea of mattresses. I kind of like being there because we got to jump around from bed to bed. You sort of go through your world and you progress as a person, and you get money and you get clothes and you get stable environment and you educate yourself and you strive to be a better person. And you almost forget about what it was like in those days. Like there's people going through this exact same thing right now as we speak. Kids with their families being in and out of houses and squatting and shit like that. And you forget that that's what it's like for you.
What time is it? Maybe we should go now. I was lucky. Lucky to have parents who sacrificed for me, but also sacrificed enough to get me the opportunities that I needed to be able to succeed. Not everyone has that. Luck is a big part of things. Okay, How is everyone doing? Still living the dream, Cal?
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You've got to be pushing it. This is the time when we've got to be working the hardest to get our fitness up and getting ready for the game.
It's easy enough for me to talk about my sexuality here because I'm so far away from where I'm originally from, and I don't have the issues of a society telling me that who I am is not acceptable and that I could be vilified and actually victimized, and I could actually get myself hurt by being very open about my sexuality. I could get killed, and legally I could be thrown in jail because the legal system has not changed in centuries. So it actually allows you to actually put someone in a penal colony because you're gay, which is kind of strange.
Other shoulder, other shoulder. I'm going to need you guys talking a lot more, and talking by communicating with each other. Where the ball's here, yes, come on, let's go. Well done, Stu, that was fucking good, that was great, okay? It's also about being, enjoying each other's company by actually having that fucking adrenaline. No. Lock it right, wait, Chris, very naked. Going left, right. John Ray, right. Get on, come on. John Ray left. Side wide. Where was he? Down.
Next one.
I actually went to a public school, and I was involved in a bit of a naughty crowd, and I got in a bit of trouble, and my mum contacted the boarding school, and so I had an interview with the school, and they said, that's fine, we can put you in. I think it was, a huge turning point in my life. I could have gone down the road of a typical South Brisbane teenager, because South Brisbane's very rough and no hope-ish. So I was lucky. I got into this school and they taught me everything. Before that, sport was all for fun, but then you get to school where kids are like Queensland this and national this, and they go to states and it's like, oh okay, cool. Yeah, opportunities started to come up and you start to think, well wait a minute, just because I'm Aboriginal doesn't mean these opportunities aren't available to me. They're right available, they're right there, Alright, I'm gonna get some lunch and I'll go back. See you, honey. Alright. Oh, hello. Okay. Yes. Have a good one. See you later. I'll back later. Yeah, man.
See, much closer. To explain working in banking to people who are non-bankers, I think it's the most difficult thing. You end up actually, well, I find that you end up actually confusing the person more than anything. So it's better just to say, I work in banking. You can buy, you're gonna buy, I don't know, sugar, but you're buying sugar, you're not buying this, you're buying what this is in 3 months from now as a forward or the future. And those are all legal, contractual terminologies, which the average person will say, well, why am I not buying sugar right now? This sugar right now is called spot. No, like, you don't want spot, you want to buy it 3 months from now because you don't need it now, you need it 3 months from now. To most people, you're like, well, that's stupid, or it doesn't make any sense, but in banking, that's what you do, that's how the world actually works. You don't set up a business based on right now, you're trying to look at it as a going concern for the future. I do it for the money. That sounds bad, but I do it for the money so that I can afford my lifestyle. So I get to travel around the world and choose where I want to be when I want to be there. now I can be who I am, or who I think I should be, and then you are now free. And it's just an incredible thing to be in a country that you're able to actually have those freedoms, and Australia certainly offers that. But again, certainly it's understandable that's only within particular city limits and particular people. It's not everyone. You still are in a country that has a potential for racial violence, a potential for homophobic people. And it's important that you sort of recognize that even though we feel that there's this freedom to be who you want to be in society, and certainly being a part of the Convicts and being open about your sexuality, being a part of a predominantly gay club, gay football club, that reality is that there are people actually out there who really don't like you and have no interest in you being their friend.
Well played, man. Sorry, Cat. Well played. Thanks, mate. Well played, guys.
Getting to know who I am and to integrate all the parts of myself that I've ignored or haven't been able to embrace before and become part of myself. And ultimately I think that God is in all of us, and that God is trying to learn how to see himself in all different people and all different aspects. And probably the best definition I've heard of what God is that I relate to is somewhere I read that how do you explain to a goldfish what water is? God is like all around me and inside me, but I still don't know what it is. And often, for a lot of my life, have been unaware of God's presence.
Dad had left. When I was growing up as a kid, I had a lot of anger towards him for what he did. He could have done things a lot better. He could have been a man and stood up for his family and been there for his kids. But when I got to go back to the mission and see where he grew up and the lifestyle he had and what it was like for him, I'd never really understood what it was like being an Aboriginal man, growing up in the 70s, 60s, 70s, you know what I mean, in Western Victoria, and growing up on a mission. He lives in a way that's different. He was on his own journey and doing his own thing, which I can't really hate him for.
I'm not a big fan of George Michael, but I definitely like the music. The song came on, which actually is quite a great song. It's called Freedom. Had no idea what was behind the meaning, but then I listened to the words of the song and I'm like, my God, he's talking about his freedom to be who he wants to be. And it sort of meant to me a lot to sort of think, well, yeah, I actually can and do have that freedom to be who I want to be, so let's exercise that option. And that's when I came out to myself, dancing around in a hotel room overlooking the harbor.
That is the point of life, is the journey to that point of developing a sense of self. I really love that phrase, sense of self, because when I was 21, I didn't have a sense of self. I was very fragmented, I would say. There were parts of me split off from who I was. I still had a very enjoyable time when I was 21. I was traveling and I was seeing places and I was enjoying the world. But I don't think I really understood who I was in the world and what my purpose here was. And then in the last 4 years, I became a drug and alcohol counsellor, and I started working with other people, and my focus, because I used to be an actor, I was an actor for about 12 years, and all I wanted to be was famous, and I wanted people to love me, and I wanted validation from outside of myself. And I kind of find it interesting now that my job revolves around me listening to other people and facilitating their awareness and helping them find happiness. And what has ultimately now brought me joy and satisfaction is not helping myself get fame, but helping other people find happiness. I still have difficulty with my family being gay, but what I've stopped doing is buying into their shame around me being gay, and I allow myself to be authentically who I am completely without worrying what they think of me. The journey to where I am today has taken a lot of work, and I still work on it a lot today, but I am okay. I'm not only okay, I'm a beautiful human being, and I have a right to be in this world as much as anyone else. I'm not less than anyone else.
Each of us has an individual life to live, and we only have one life, and so we've got to respect that person's passage. And
the interesting thing, Dirk, about this conversation is the fact that you're the first person we've sat down together with and gone through it since it happened 20 years ago.